If you are constantly tweaking your messaging and you still feel like you're not standing out, you do not need another content filler. You do not need another niche. You just need to have the courage to say the things that you really feel. This is some like serious ahas that I've been having over the past, I guess you could say, couple of weeks, like major. First of all, welcome to my new home. We are fixing up this studio and redoing it. So you might see all kinds of different versions of this room, but I'm in a new home, in a new studio. Really excited about the conversation that we're going to have today because it's needed. It's needed. It's important. And it comes from a real life scenario that I had happen a couple of days ago. And I'm just going to tell you the story so you can fully understand and hopefully you can see a little bit of yourself in me and maybe have a similar aha, similar outcome because it's a happy one. It's a good one. I'll tell you that. So, last weekend, I had a fabulous weekend in Texas. I went to Houston for a couple of days to visit my best friend, Gabrielle Lyon. You might know her on the internet. She's amazing, incredible doctor, New York Times bestselling author, and just a fantastic person. And I went there to celebrate her birthday with her and then went over to San Antonio, Texas to speak at the Aspire Tour, which is like the biggest entrepreneurial conference in the world. It's like tours all over the country. And it was really cool to get to speak there. But this story comes from the Houston part of the trip. So I went to Houston with Gabrielle and a couple other people, and she took us to the shooting range for her birthday. Now, I've been to the shooting range one time before when I was really young and went with my dad, and I probably shot a gun one time. But I was really excited to go with Gabrielle and with her husband Shane because her husband Shane is a Navy SEAL. So if there's anybody to shoot guns with, it's this Navy SEAL who was like a weapons specialist, and he was going to teach us all how to safely handle these weapons and shoot a gun at a shooting range. And I'm like, this is something that I really want to learn how to do just in case of an emergency. Everyone should know how to handle these things and how to shoot. And I was really excited about it. So I go, we have a great time, learn how to shoot a gun, get some really cool footage of all of us shooting at the shooting range. And I sent the video of me shooting to my husband, Chris. And he's like, that's so cool. And a couple of days later, he asked me, why didn't you not post that video of you at the shooting range? That was such a cool video. I saw the couple other people that were there, they were sharing it and you didn't share. And it's funny because I put the video up on stories, even on a reel, on a caption that I was or on in like an in-feed post a couple of times, and I deleted it every single time. And the voice in my head that forced me to delete that post was, if you share this, you're going to lose followers. And I kept thinking of these people, I don't even know who they are. I really don't even know. These imaginary people that would see me shooting a gun at a shooting range and say, oh, I don't like her anymore, and unfollow me because they don't align with that or they don't agree with guns. And I was like, well, it's not worth it for me to post that because I don't want to lose followers. And I said that to him. I'm like, because I knew that if I posted that, I'd probably lose some followers. And he goes, that's exactly why you should post that. And then it hit me. And I thought back to I did this exercise with ChatGPT, which is really fun. And I highly recommend that you do it. Well, it's kind of fun and it's kind of just like it's kind of a smack in the face, like eye opener. And I put a prompt into ChatGPT asking it to act as my coach and tell me the things that I can't see in myself, essentially. It was a pretty long prompt, but it was basically telling ChatGPT to coach me and tell me what I could do to improve with my brand or where are my blind spots? What am I not seeing? What am I not doing that's keeping me from growing? And ChatGPT said to me, I will actually read it for you. It was really an impactful thing, and it's funny because I heard the feedback, but how many times do we hear the feedback and don't take the feedback? The ChatGPT said to me, "You're playing big, but you're still translating yourself for mass appeal. Stop trying to be liked by everyone. Start trying to be unignorable to the right ones. You're not just a brand, you're a belief system. Build like it." And I know it's been very clear to me that I'm definitely a people pleaser and I want everyone to like me. I mean, if you're listening to this right now and you feel that at all, like I hear you and I see you. We want, and I know that I know this. I've been curating my content very carefully so that everyone can get something from it and everyone will like it. And very, very careful not to say anything that would upset someone or somebody that might have a different opinion. I don't really share very strong opinions on social media. And this has nothing to do with politics. This has everything to do I mean, maybe a little bit political. I'm not who knows? I mean, I'm talking about overall big picture. If you're not, and I'm saying this for myself, if I am not courageous enough to speak my truth and share who I am authentically, then I'm not being authentic. I'm just being relatable. And there's a big difference between relatability and authenticity. Relatability, most people can play relatable, right? We can say something that just keeps us hiding just enough to also be relatable with other people. And you know those types of posts, you know those. And those are great. And you can be a people pleaser and you can put on a show and you can perform and make everybody happy. But there's a really good chance in today's world of social media, you will not grow. If you don't plant your flag on one side for some things and share things that might upset some people, you won't attract the people that are ride or die because you're just all things to all people. So those ride or die people are going to go find the people that like plant their flag where their flag's planted and they're going to go follow them and be excited about them. You're just gonna be, like, bland, and that's fine for some people. Some people do just wanna play that safe life, and, but the problem for me and maybe for you, if you are someone that does want to build a brand that has major reach and it's really important to you, you gotta go bigger and you gotta be okay with rocking the boat and pissing some people off and some people not liking it, and because every time you have someone that really doesn't like it, you're going to also at the same time, on the opposite, have a couple of people that really like it and like you more for sharing that than they ever did because they connect with you deeper, and that's what authenticity does. That's why it works so well. Authenticity, there's a lot of content around, about authenticity, and a lot of people don't even like the word being authentic because what does that even mean? But it's important, and I think that the reason that people don't necessarily understand, like, why is this authenticity thing so major is because we're looking at a lot of people pretending to be authentic by being relatable. And they're 2 totally different things. And for me, not posting that video of me shooting a gun, which was an activity that I did while I was in Texas that I had fun doing, and it would have been something that I posted, the sole reason that I didn't share it because I was afraid that people wouldn't like it was inauthentic. So, I was scared to do this. I'm just totally honest about this. I almost didn't post it, but the push of my husband and the push of, ironically, ChatGPT, which I think is a fantastic coach, to play big and to be authentic and truthful and be myself, I posted the videos and the caption was, "I didn't wanna post this because I was afraid I was gonna lose followers." And that post ended up, like, crushing, and crushing in the best way, meaning for me, like, it didn't get millions of comments, but there were so many comments of people saying, "Thank you so much for sharing this. I needed to hear this. I like you now more because you shared this. Me too. I also go to the shooting range and didn't wanna share, or I don't care. I share with everybody that I go to the shooting range and da 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 da, and this is so important." It caused such a big form of connection for me and my audience. Many other people were connecting with each other in the comments. There really were no negative comments, and I was ready for them if there was going to be. But the last line of the post was, "If I lost you, that's amazing, sayonara. But if I didn't, we just became closer." And so many people were like, "We became closer, became closer, became closer." And that was the lesson of the whole week, maybe the whole month. Share the thing. Share the thing. And I think that's, y you know, a lot of people are scrolling here on YouTube trying to find the latest and greatest content strategy to go viral on social media or to capture more attention or to build an audience or to grow, when really it's not about strategy. It really isn't. It's about consistency and it's about authenticity because I see the platforms that are doing well and the platforms that are doing well on social media. If you go and you take a look at them, the thing that they all have in common, personal brand platforms, is that they are not afraid to be polarizing. They're not afraid to speak their truth. And you might not like it. In fact, you might be thinking about some of these brands right now, and be like, yeah, and I hate them for it. And that's okay. That's great. And then some of them are speaking their truth and they're polarizing and they're saying their opinion and you have the same opinion. So you're like, I love them for it. And then some of them, it's like, oh, that's an interesting opinion. I didn't know they felt that way, but at least they're sharing how they feel and being exactly who they are. And there's so much fakeness out there in the world today with AI, especially now there's AI influencers and there's going to be a dime a dozen perfect Instagram posts, perfectly curated, face-tuned women and men and private jets and doing all the things and, like, oh my God, fabulous life, yay. There already is so much of it. People are sick and tired of it. They're over it. They want reality. They want real. They want truthful. They want authentic. And that's what's working today. That's the strategy. The strategy is to throw away the strategy and just be authentic. The problem with that, I mean, I guess it's a problem, but it's also a good thing, is that it's scary. It's terrifying to be authentic because you've got more on the line. Because if you're authentic and you're truthful and you're who you really are, the judgment hurts a little bit more if you get judged. And failure hurts a little bit more if it's like, "Oh, I was," I used to if we here's an example. If you can think of that thing that maybe you do just for fun, and if you fail, it's not that big of a deal, so you do a lot of it. Like, maybe you don't wanna become a professional pickleball player, so you don't get terrified when you go to your pickleball championship with your team and you lose. It's not terrifying because it's like, there's not a lot on the line. It's not your soul's purpose. It's not your deepest, truest goal. But whenever you have to go, let's say your deepest, truest goal and you feel like your soul's purpose is to be a singer, and if you go and you sing and you fail in front of those people, that hurts a lot more, and you're judged because that's your thing, and if you find out that you are like a failed singer, then that means it's the end of your passion and your purpose. It's a lot scarier to go and, like, take an at bat to go try because there's a lot more on the line. So being your authentic self and people judging you is a lot scarier than being somebody fake and people judging you. But listen, either way, people are going to judge. Either way, people aren't going to like it. Either way, people are going to have an opinion. And I think the most important thing is that you know who you are and you are coming from a giving, caring, loving place. And you are just being exactly who you are as you are for that one person on the other side of the phone or the other side of the YouTube that was entertained by you or educated by you or felt a little bit less alone because you shared your truth. And so this is not a strategy video or podcast, or if you're listening or if you're watching, this is not a what's working on Instagram. Like, I could tell you all those things, but I don't think any of those things actually really matter anymore if you don't have this one thing. And this is the hardest part. It's the authenticity. It's the ability to pull out your phone, record your face, talking about something that you believe in, that you know to be true, or that you're not so good at, and sharing that you're not so good at it, or a question that you have and sharing that question, creating a conversation, allowing yourself to be seen without like a crazy filter or without having to brag about your fantastic weekend, maybe sharing a loss, maybe sharing a rejection, or maybe it's not even sharing bad things. Maybe it's just like getting online and unapologetically celebrating something amazing that happened, letting it be a highlight reel, but doing it in your pajamas and a top knot and crying. It's not coming out of your nose. Like, people want to connect with you. We are now no longer even getting our news that much from mainstream media. We're on YouTube here getting our news from influencers in their living room. We are more conditioned than ever before to want the reality, to want the truth. So the creators that are winning today, and I think the creators that are going to continue to win, are the creators that are truthful to who they are. And so if you have something in you that you feel needs to come out about you, that needs to be said, that you are passionate about, that you're excited about, that you've held back on because you were afraid somebody was going to unfollow you or somebody was going to think something of you that wasn't true, or they weren't going to understand it, or they were going to think like, oh, who is she to talk about that thing, or whatever. And you're holding back on that and you continue to play it safe. You'll do well, but you'll never skyrocket. And I hate using absolutes like never and always, but I'm pretty sure of that. And I'm saying this to myself as well. That one post, and I know how it feels because it was so freaking hard for me to post that shooting video. And even after I posted it, I thought about taking it down because we are programmed, most of us, at least I am, I don't know, programmed to want to be liked. And as long as we are after the likes and the approval, we're being inauthentic because we're doing it for the likes and the approval instead of doing it genuinely for the give or for the conversation or the connection or the value that we want to provide. We are doing it to get the, oh, I loved that so much. That was nice and safe and happy, and I can watch that, yay, like. And but people don't comment on those videos or on those posts. So I hope you got something out of this. This was a really important video for me to get out there. And I don't even know if I communicated myself as well as I would have liked to. But if I did, and if you felt this in your core and you are also feeling aligned with this and you are also wanting to be just more authentic, less relatable, but more authentic and more yourself, and less about doing it for the likes and more about doing it for the impact and doing it for the connection, and want to learn more about that and hear more about my journey doing that, just comment below. I would love to see what you guys have to say. And I'm super grateful for you that you've been subscribed to my channel. I'm really excited to continue to bring you hopefully great content. Let me know what you guys want to hear about and learn about, but I'll just continue to share with you my journey. And yeah, and if you're listening to this on the podcast, make sure you go on over to YouTube and hit subscribe for all the great videos, and you'll see my new messy studio, my new home if you go over to YouTube. I love you guys. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.